don't uniquely have this problem. In fact, here in Boise, Idaho, we have a great chamber. But if you've ever been to sort of an old, stale environment where not a whole lot is really happening, and you kind of scratch your head and go, is it worth it to go to this thing? Well, the problem is circulation. Without adequate circulation, any body dies, and that applies to a mastermind group, a networking event, whatever you want to call this thing. So my goal as I move forward building out this event that we've got coming up, the Main Street Free Enterprise Summit. The goal is to infuse that event with as much circulation as possible. I only want folks coming to that who really get it. And I invite you to grab a hold of this idea and be excited, be legitimately excited about being in a room full of several hundred people, perhaps 1,000 or more people who actually get it and are thinking this same way. My goal for this event coming up is that it be one of the top 5 events you've ever been to in your life. Now, that may sound pretty bold and audacious. I just want you to understand the thinking, the intention that I come to the event with. I invite you to come to the event with the same intention. Come to it as if I've done all of this work for you. Because you know what? I have. I've put together great speakers. I've put together the Main Street Mastermind, other business owners, Main Street heroes, I call them, other business owners similarly situated who bring to the table a wealth of wisdom. It's going to be absolutely invaluable to a business owner to be surrounded by that environment, to rub elbows with so many other businesses, and to really have a great, rich networking environment. If you'll come to this event with that mindset, and we have hundreds of people coming to this event with this mindset, it will absolutely be one of the top 5 events that any of us has ever been to. And, if we come a little short and only make it in your top 10, I'll be okay with that, I guess. But I encourage you to come with the mindset of circulation and really come ready for a charged atmosphere. And independent of my event, I encourage you to do that if you go to a BNI meeting, or you even if you go to webinar, I encourage you to bring your whole self to that, to make the event as good as you can make it in terms of your contribution, because the more of us do that, the better these events we attend will be. Okay, so the 3 magic questions. Now let me set this up just a little bit. It's important that you understand that in order to be a strong networker, it's not your ability to communicate out to the business community what it is you do. It's your ability to inquire and learn and become a resource to as many people as possible. You want people coming to you for your product or service who are people who know you, like you, and trust you. I mean, that's just kind of a standard line in any referral book you might read or marketing book. Well, how do you achieve that? You become outwardly focused. You come to an event saying, I want to meet some folks that I can hook into my pre-existing relationships. I want to go to the event with my pre-existing relationships in the back of my mind, and I want to be asking questions on behalf of my clients, on behalf of my friends and family and any prospects. I want to be actively looking for resources that benefit my sphere of influence. And so when I sit down and talk to a new person I haven't met before, I want to ask questions that enable me to make true connections and become a real resource. So the first question is, what do you do? Now that sounds like a pretty simple question, right? But I want you to understand the context of this question. If I ask you, what do you do? And you tell me, well, I'm a lawyer. Well, the fact is that really tells me nothing, right? You could practice criminal law. You could do intellectual property. You could be in products liability. I mean, there's a myriad of different things you could do as a lawyer. Even as a realtor, I might ask you, what do? You tell me you're a realtor. Again, it really doesn't tell me much. What you want to get to when you dig in the question of what do you do is you want to know in terms of a benefit statement. What is it that you bring to the marketplace that's valuable and unique? What contribution do you make in your business? And so if I'm talking to a realtor and I say, what do you do? And that realtor says, you know what I do? I'll give you an example of what I do. Just last week, we closed on the purchase of a house for this young couple. They were so excited. It was their first house. And I got to be part of making that dream come true. And that's what I do for a living, is I help young people just starting out make their dreams come true. Well, now I know exactly who I'm looking for a prospect for you, right? Because you've told me exactly where your passion is and what you enjoy. Now I know that you also take listings, and I know that you may handle other transactions, but in terms of what you real benefit you bring that passion, that excitement of helping people get their brand new house. The next question is, why are you here? And I encourage you to know why you go to an event. Why do you jump into a webinar, or why do you go to a chamber event, or why in the world do you go week after week after week to BNI? You have to walk in with intention. So I encourage you to seek out the intention of the other people around you, because you might make assumptions about why somebody's there. For instance, you might run into that realtor and make the assumption, oh well, they're just out there looking for another client. Where the reason they're there, the real thing that they want right now is, boy, they need an office manager. They need to meet the right person that can help them take their business to the next level, or they're really there looking for some brand new marketing ideas, and you might know just the person who can really help that realtor to go to the next level from a marketing standpoint. So, don't make assumptions about why other people are there. Why are you here? What brought you here? What's the goal? What intention did you come into the room with? Really, really important. And then, who's your ideal prospect? If I find myself in another gathering 3 weeks from now and there's several people around, and I have you in the back of my mind, who am I looking for? Again, it's connected to what is that unique value that you bring to the marketplace, and how do I recognize that? A great example in the book Endless Referrals by Bob Burg, just a great book. He was talking to a gentleman that sells copier machines. And he says, tell me how I know when I found a really good prospect for you. Well, you'd think it'd be pretty much any business owner, right? Any small business or whatever. And I love the answer. The guy says, you know what? When you're walking through an office and you see a bunch of wadded up paper in a trash can next to the copier, that's probably a good prospect for me. Well, that makes a lot of sense. That helps me understand, and when I'm visiting offices, what it is I'm looking for. I'm not looking for everybody who already has a copier. I'm looking for people who have an immediate need. So what I encourage you to do is to apply